The episode starts off with Nick and his party, the Masters of War, intimidatingly asking the receptionist for work. The receptionist is seemingly shy and gets scared. However, an old lady intrudes on the conversation and asks them not to scare their cute little receptionist. The old lady recognizes Nick as an experienced adventurer from the Countless Battle Arts party. Our main protagonist, Nick, gets contented at the admiration given by the old lady. The old lady muses and again admires Nick, but this time his whole party. She then honors the return of the survival lady. Nick, along with his party, is left confused by the statement uttered by the old lady. Well, Nick didn't know Curran, his partner, miraculously survived and returned alone from a C-rank labyrinth. Even Curran doesn't know how famous she is, but no one knows what lies behind her spectacular smile. Before assigning the work to Nick's party, the old lady asks for the party's name. Nick mumbles survivors. His party looks at him perplexed, while Nick reasons that they will certainly make it back alive. That's what survivors are, so they will be called survivors. His whole party sees eye to eye with Nick. The old lady again asks for the party's name. This time Nick and his comrades speak in one voice vigorously, survivors. Before the team sets out on their adventure, Nick instructs his team that as adventurers who don't trust anyone that leaves their backs open, they should always follow three main rules, the survivors' three main laws. We don't interfere with each other's hobbies, says Tiana. Keep a good watch on our funds, Zamads adds. And make it back alive no matter what, Garden concludes, the leader of the group. Nick then assigns duties to each and every member of the group. Nick takes on accounting, Tiana makes sure it matches the actual money, Curran is held responsible for the safe, and Zem is assigned to withhold the key. While Nick is carrying on his leadership speech, Zem cuts it and makes a point that Nick is assigning arduous duties to others and making a benefit for himself. Nick challenges them to give a backbone to his statement. Instead of Nick, Tiana replies that Nick has the least opportunity to touch the safe according to the assigned roles. However, this internal dispute is handheld strikingly by the leader himself. He shares a backstory, a life-saving lesson he learned from what happened at the Countless Battle Arts. Trust is something when you are not doubting each other. The party wants to have their trust in one another, but they can't give them their trust completely in the broad daylight of the sun and in the gooey waterworks. Nick and his team start their venture, easier said than done. Nick discusses the plan with his team about how they'll kill the monsters or floras, how they'll get the money from their cores, and how they'll distribute the money among the members. Just as the team enters a few steps into the labyrinth, they encounter their first target, a slime that appears to be rather cute and chewing on grass. The mission starts rather easily with no effort. Nick removes the core of the slime, dispatches it, and stores the core, which is a source of money for the group. The party then carries on its mission, appearing to be joyful and talkative. Nick muses to himself about the high hopes he has for the team. As the party moves further into the labyrinth, they encounter more slimes and remove their cores. While dispatching off a living creature doesn't seem right, if they are left undispatched, miasma and monsters grow rapidly, making the labyrinth larger and larger and imposing threats to the people. It's an absolute rule of nature, survival of the fittest. It sounds cruel and pessimistic, but when there are no means of collaborating with the monsters, people have to kill them in order to survive. While proceeding, Tiana gets careless, talking about her achievements of taking down goblins and other monsters. A bigger slime ejects a goofy projectile as lethal as a banana peel, and she falls. Nick tells her that bigger slimes can eject a goofy projectile and that if Tiana had been careful, it wouldn't have happened. Trying to accommodate her negligence, she unleashes her attack, Icicle Dance, but instead of shooting for the slime, she unconsciously unleashes it elsewhere, and Curran becomes the target of her attack. Fortunately, Curran blocked the attack with her sword, but her trust is broken. Curran is infuriated. She ignores Tiana's reasons and warns her that she might also make a mistake like this. Tiana is left shocked at her response, and from there, the team carries on its mission with two of its members having a grudge against each other. In no time, the team reaches the top floor of the labyrinth, and here they find the biggest slime they've encountered so far, the boss of the gooey waterworks. Tiana, with her mood off, tries to show off, ignores the team, and goes for the big slime all on her own. In her own rage and stubbornness, she unleashes a big icy spear on the big slime, and with just one attack, it lives no more. However, with the deadly attack, the slime rips up, and its goofy constituents are splashed on the whole team, leaving them filthy and goofy. The team exits from the labyrinth and takes a bath in the stream flowing near the labyrinth. While Curran is still thinking of the incident that might cause her to lose her life, Nick explains why the slime scattered its goo all over the place. Big slimes react to strong magic, that's the reason, Nick gives to Tiana. Once refreshed, Nick gathers the whole team to regain the trust between Tiana and Curran. He tells all of his weak points to his friends, shows them all the pieces of equipment he has, and tells his team what they can do and can't. He says to his team that they're wary of each other because they don't have a clue about what they're capable of, and once you know all about them, you can give them your trust. At least, that's how Nick thinks. Tiana questions him if he thinks each and every member of the team should open themselves and share their weak points, but Nick replies with a no. Nick just wants his team to stay united and trust each other till the very end, stay loyal to each other as long as they are part of his team. Zem also shares his weak points with the team and tells them that he's almost very delicate to magic, fist, or any sort of combat and cannot manage to win one battle. But as a part of the team, he's really useful. The team cannot survive without a healer, especially one who has also put forward his devotion, loyalty, and trust in healing others. While Zem is carrying on his speech, Tiana goes to Curran, bends down in an apologetic manner, and tells her capabilities and weak points. She's a mage best suited with water and wind magic, also good with their combination, lightning magic. But although she can use fire and earth magic, she's not that good at using them. She confesses her fault and apologizes to Curran. She is defenseless against earth and fire magic and quick-range attacks. After saying all of this, Curran returns to the log where she was previously sitting and sits down but appears to catch a cold. Curran uses her flame magic to make a fireplace in the middle of this wilderness just to help her friend warm up. With this, the whole team gains its trust and is once again united as one. At noon, the team stands up and leaves for its next destination, the goblin force densely populated with goblins that are pretty weak on their own, but as a pack, they can be tough to deal with. Just as Nick was saying this, Zem is attacked by a goblin, but Nick slashes the goblin and saves them. Attacking humans like monsters feels even cooler than attacking living slimes, but what has to be done is to be done, all with no regrets and no guilt. Just after killing the first humanoid monster, the dead goblin's friends attack the team, but the survivors, united as one, fight back and easily kill all of them. Tiana uses her magic to search and get the location of the goblins and finds where the majority of the goblins are. Nick and the others don't know that Tiana can use such long-range searches, and they are all admiring Tiana for her practical magic. But this is where the challenge really starts. Tiana senses a monster much stronger than the goblins themselves within the pack. Zem asks if anyone knows what the creature could be. Whatever it is, it surely poses a serious threat to the team and is far more deadly than any monster they have faced today. Nick answers them that it could probably be an ogre, an evolution of a hobgoblin, and without a doubt, far stronger than any grunt. For someone as strong as Nick himself, it is a challenging fight. Even if they work together, the smallest miscalculations and mistakes could be the cause of their deaths. But what's even worse is that they do not currently have much experience working as a team, which makes the chances of mistakes even higher. Retreat is not an option here because if they do, the goblins will group up with other packs and become even stronger. It would be more difficult to fight them than it is now. They would also impose threats on people living near the forest. But the most important reason is that it's a financial resource for the team, and since they're currently having a hard time, they cannot compromise on any incoming money. The team then discusses its plan on taking down the ogre. Since it has high resistance against magic, the vanguard of the team, Tiana, is of no importance in the main fight. The only ones who can take the ogre down are Nick and Curran. Nick then assigns the roles to each member of the team for the fight. Tiana, as a long-range magic user, will distract the ogre. Zem will use his supportive magic to empower the team and heal them in case of any injuries, while Curran and Nick will slice down the ogre, disposing of it and taking its core with their lives at stake. The team then enters into the fight, and there it was, the sturdy and dominant ogre calling out for the fight. The fight begins. Zem empowers the attackers, Nick and Curran. Tiana takes down the goblins with her magic, while Curran and Nick charge in for the big beast. No matter how many goblins they slice, they keep coming again and again. They aren't going to go down easily without a fair fight. Although the team didn't have their full trust in each other before, they have to be careful now not to leave an opening for anyone to come in, strike, and get the advantage over one another. In this fight, it was completely different. It was a live-or-die situation for them, and as survivors, they had chosen to survive according to the survivors' three main laws. In order to survive, they had to have their full trust in each other, in order to fight and cut the ogre's sturdy skin. Curran has to charge in, leaving her back open and having trust in her team to protect her back. Karen keeps repeating, "I have to trust them," sheathing her big heavy sword with powerful fire magic and slicing the ogre's sturdy skin in just one blow. That's how teamwork leads to victory. Without any one of the members, they certainly would not have won this battle, but today they kept their trust in one another and successfully won. After they had won the battle, Nick goes to the corpses of the goblins and collects their cores. He also offers Tiana to collect them, but Tiana prefers to stay away from Nick's hobby of collecting the cores. While Nick was collecting the cores, Karen was thinking of her past. They didn't teach her anything back then because they said Karen doesn't have to learn anything when Nick is isolating the ogre's core. He tries, but it doesn't get separated, so he puts in more force, and with a jerk, he falls on Karen while they hear the cracking sound of the ornament Karen had in her eyes. It was broken apart. What could be the meaning of this? Maybe Karen has escaped the dark past she once knew, and what awaits ahead is a bright future with people whom she